Hey, what's up, guys? So, it finally happened. G37 is gone. So, that was an extremely stressful process of dealing with hundreds, if not thousands of inquiries between TikTok and Facebook. Oh my goodness, I've dealt with so many people who were not serious, were not cash ready, wanted to lowball me, wanted to make me feel like I was desperate and needed to get rid of the vehicle. Doesn't matter though, because it's gone. It's sold, right? So picked up the BMW E46 for $100, right? The dude paid me $100 for an hour of my time to fix this E46. And I went over there and I realized that after his engine swap, he didn't hook up the two communication wires to the starter that go to the ignition and the ECU. This is pretty specific to BMWs. Maybe other Euro cars might do it, but I've only ever seen it on a BMW. So I hooked up those wires and we cranked the car and it had an extremely slow crank. So I told him, I said, hey, if you have a set of jumper cables, hook them up to the engine and then hook them up to your chassis to provide some grounds to the engine, because that's clearly what's stopping, it from starting. And he didn't want to do it. And yeah, he ended up texting me 2 or 3 days later when he had to be out of his unit, and he told me to come pick up the BMW for $200. So I took the $100 he gave me on Friday. I took $100 of my own money, went and bought it, and then I fixed it, got it running. I traded it for a G37, and then I sold the G37, and now I'm going to take that money and go and purchase something else. So I'm going to take you guys on a little journey with me, and once we get to North Carolina, I'll catch back up with you, and we'll check out the new build. All right, it's like 5 a.m. Our journey has begun. Dylan's just pumping up the tires real quick. That one had 14 PSI in it. Great start to the trip. We're doing it though. 10-hour drive, here we go. And that's just there. And then we gotta come back. The fun stuff. It'll be worth it though. All right, we off. As soon as we get to a gas station or somewhere with some light, or back to my house, I'll show you guys what I got. But I'm gonna wake up Dylan now and we're gonna get on the road. So, yep. All right, so Dylan helped me pick up something I've been trying to get forever, which is a Mark II Toyota. This thing's not perfect by any means, but the person I just bought it from has been doing rust repair on this thing for the last like 4 months. I think you spent like $5 grand at a rust repair shop to have everything done that's done on here. So I feel like I'm a few steps ahead, and considering I buy cars, tear them completely to pieces, and then build them, looks perfect for me. So I'm excited. He also gave us a bunch of parts too. Like, this is all the stuff I need to finish it. And then we've got the windshields in here, and I got 2 dashboards. I actually stopped at another kid's house and bought a digital cluster and a fuel sending unit. And actually the kid that I bought that from, I was originally supposed to buy a JZX from him, and then he sold the doors off it. And then I asked him for the information as to who he sold the doors to, and it ended up being Cole. And then I stayed in contact with Cole, and now I got Cole's JZX. So good stuff. So we got the back window right here. We got the windshield right here, both uncracked. Got some nice vented crested fenders. We stopped and picked up another dash and a digital cluster as well, because, well, this car didn't come with one, and I knew a kid who had one that was an hour away from this car. So there that is. I also got the sending unit and the harness for it so I can make sure it works. We got a flat tire. Is it ever really a real stop unless you stop at Buc-ee's? Apparently that's a thing. So I guess I have to partake in said tradition. So I got some sandwiches, and now I'm gonna sit here with the new car while I eat my sandwiches, because why not? All right, so she's home. So we left Friday night at like, what, 4 a.m. and we didn't get back until Sunday at like 3 p.m. So it's a pretty long journey. It's like 10.5 hours from where I am to there. So, got to compensate for stops and food and all that stuff. But she's home. So I'm going to show you guys what I got here, and then I'm going to end the video so I can upload it so you guys can see this. and then the work begins. So I've been in contact with the gentleman who owns this car for a very, very long time, and everywhere you can see primer is anywhere there was a replacement panel put in, stock holes were welded up and covered up, or a roof skin swap was done. So the gentleman I bought this car from, as I told you guys earlier in the video, he took this to a rust repair shop and paid, I think, $5 or $6 grand to have them go over this car and take care of anywhere that could be a problem for rust in the future. So that's all taken care of, and I'm not versed in rust repair work. So when I tear a car down that has issues like that, you know, it's harder to come up with solutions to work around it. And I kind of put that on the back burner until I'm experienced enough to be able to like tear out a floor pan like I need to do in the RX-7 and replace all that with a good piece of metal. So yeah, in due time I'll learn how to do that. But this car has a clean North Carolina title. And yeah, it's a complete car interior wise besides back seats. So I was pretty much given everything I need to put it back together, and it will get put back together. But before I put the carpet in, the sound deadening, before I put the carpet in, I'm going to sound deaden the whole inside of the car. So that's going to delay things a little bit. But I would like to get the interior piece together so I know what I don't have so I can work on starting to source it. So there she is, my 1991 Toyota JZX81 Mark II. It's basically a JDM Cressida, but it's got a lot of different features about it. If the Cressida was a JDM variant of this, it would be considered a sedan. But I can show you some of the main differences here. You've got frameless doors on the JZX, which is quite different from the MX-83 Cressida, which I personally love. The corner panels have a more aggressive arch to them. And then you have a different set of taillights that run here on the Mark IIs. And then, of course, one of my favorite aspects of this vehicle, the front end with the fog lights and the blinker accents, or the fender accents. I'm not sure if these are daytime running lights or work as a blinker, but I'm sure I could make it work as a blinker. Either way, I absolutely love the way this front end looks. So Cole was kind enough to include his BC coilovers with the JZX here. So that'll be a lot easier when it comes to dialing in the suspension and making this thing ride good. So I appreciate that. But yeah, that's the new car. It's a project. I did sell the G37 to get this, but I got the G37 for $100 at the end of the day. So I would much rather have a JZX81 and something that I can enjoy making content on, build, you know what I mean, and put a lot of time into versus something that, you know, I just got in a trade, made good, and then started dailying. I like to have a bit more of a story with my cars, so you know it lines right up the way I need it to. So yeah, gonna be starting on the JZ content here soon. Don't know if I'm gonna go with the 1J or if I'm gonna go with the 2J, or if I'm gonna take the head from the 1J and put it on the 2J block and then just hold on to my 1J block. Don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I'll figure it out in due time. I have plenty of people around me, like my good friend Peter, who is very versed with JZXs and the X chassis in general, JZs, and you know, anything of that sort when it comes to Toyotas. So I can't wait to have him involved here, helping me get this thing put together, and any resources I can use that'll help me get this thing together in a manner better than what I can do myself, I'll definitely, you know, reach out to and compensate fairly to get this thing put together the right way, because this is a really good opportunity to build a car the proper way, and I can't wait to do it. So thank you guys for watching the video all the way through. I'm sorry if it was a little boring. I'm not used to doing like videos where I go on trips or anything like that, or plan it out over the course of 4 or 5 days and then record content and try to put it all together in a way that works. So I'm sorry if the video is a little messy, but yeah, that's the new project. And make sure you hit the thumbs up for the JZX81. Drop a comment down below if you have any advice as to what I should do, or suggestions as to what I should do when it comes to going 2J, 1J, or maybe 1.5J, or maybe taking my 2J VVTi head and putting it on the GE block with the stronger rods. That's a non-VVTi block, so it's got the good rods. So, you know, I got a plethora of options here, and, you know, my mind's racing because of, you know, how many different things I can do and, you know, what I have at my fingertips. So I couldn't be more excited, but I need to go inside and go to bed. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and we'll see you in the next one.